la Champions League, 9-1 c'est la Champions League, 9-2 c'est la Champions League, 9-3 c'est la Champions League.
Welcome back to SempreInter TV. We're in the UCL, whatever, in the Champions League. We made it. As always, we had to make it the hardest way possible. As I said last week, these guys do not like doing things the easy way, and that's exactly how they did today. My God, my heart was racing up and down. We went from 3rd to 4th to 5th in the space of like 10 minutes. Absolutely crazy. Empoli gave it their best shot. Fair play to Empoli. This team has aged me by about 15-20 years this season, and that one match on its own was about 10 years of aging. Inter came out all guns blazing in the first half, great first half performance, but as often has been the case this season, the final touch, the final pass, the final shot wasn't quite there, so we didn't manage to break Empoli down in the first half. And then Spalletti did the most un-Spalletti thing that I've ever seen him do, was that he made a half-time substitution. So he took off Asamoah, a left back who had acres of space, but he wasn't making use of it, and he brought on Keita Balde, and of course, as we know, Keita Balde scoring the first goal with a banger at 1-0, taking his shirt off, getting a yellow card. But see, Luciano, I know that you're leaving, but you see, being proactive and making changes even at half time can make a difference sometimes. Well, anyway, let's get into the player ratings for the match, and of course, this is probably my easiest ever match rating, and that is Handanovic is the man of the match. Capitano Handanovic, winner of the Serie A Goalkeeper of the Season award, and out there showing exactly why he won that award. A lot of people doubted him this season. A lot of people said he shouldn't have won that award, but on the pitch tonight, he showed why he won that award. I can't even remember the amount of clutch saves he made in that match. There was a point where he made 3 saves in a row. Also, special shout out to Danilo D'Ambrosio. Often maligned, often criticised, often, at the butt of the jokes for Inter fans, But DD this season has been absolutely vital to this team. If not for his 5 assists, which is the most from a fullback in the league, but also for his defensive contribution in the derby. Literally put his balls on the line to save the shot from Musacchio. And again today against Empoli, goal line clearance, hitting the crossbar, going out for a goal, for a corner. That's a goal by on itself. De Vrij and Skriniar centre back, I give them both a 6. They were dragged about all over the place in the second half. Not really their fault because they were left exposed. The team looked really tired. There was no cover from them in front. Asamoah, I would give him a 6 as well, even though Sunit gave him a 7. He had acres of space in the first half and he just wasn't making use of it, and he had a couple of stray touches that I wasn't happy with. In midfield, Marcelo Brozovic returned to his best form finally. He's been lacking the last few matches, but today he was back to his best. Dipped off really badly in the second half. I think maybe too much running, not as smart with some of his running, was really outgassed by the end of it. Next to him, Mattias Vecino, very similarly to Danilo D'Ambrosio, much maligned, very opinion-splitting player, very criticised, but in these big matches, as he often does, he comes clutch, and even today, he had a lot of bad touches, bad passing. We know what type of player he is. But, as the match goes on, he's like a diesel car. He kind of comes alive as the other players start to tire. And that's exactly what he did for Inter's second goal. Made a great run with his long legs, went past the player, had the shot, hit the post, which Raja converted. Up ahead of them, Raja Nainggolan, also another candidate for man of the match if it wasn't for Handanovic. I'll give him a 7. Very heavily criticised move in the summer when Zaniolo started to perform well for Roma, but I never doubted it. He has been one of my favourite players in this area for a long time. Yes, he's not the same Nainggolan that we know from a few years ago, but as the numbers prove and his performances, when he plays properly in the team, he's irreplaceable in that team. Today again, out there fighting, tackling, passing, shooting. I want to see the best Nainggolan next season. I hope he has a full pre-season, which he didn't have this season. and I'm looking forward to seeing the real Raja Nainggolan for a full season. On the right, Matteo Politano finally completed 90 minutes, which was a big surprise, but I think that was because Perisic had to be substituted due to injury. But you can see he just doesn't have 90 minutes in his leg, which is really baffling for a professional player. As often, he cuts inside, and his decision making or his final ball is lacking. But you have to give him credit for always trying things. He's such a live wire. He's always trying something. It often doesn't come off. I think next season there needs to be someone else that takes that right wing spot over from him. I think we have to redeem him. I think he will be redeemed, but there has to be someone of higher quality in his position. But on the left, even Perisic started off on the left wing. Not much of an end product, as often has been with him. Then converted to a left back in the second half when Keita Balde came on. And again, as we keep saying, I think this is going to be his position in the future if he humbles himself and understands that his decline has been coming for a while now. He's got the physique, the stamina to play in that position, and he's shown. Unfortunately, he got injured in the second half, which meant we had to bring Dalbert on. And touching on Dalbert, I just want to say, and I hope you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments, that Dalbert is the worst player that has played for Inter in the last 10 years, bar none. And I want to hear in the comments, because I can't think of anyone else, because this guy absolutely stank the pitch when he came on. Perisic he's not even the proper left back, and he was making me miss him at left back. I was wishing that Perisic played there instead of the Dalbert, who is a left back. Came on with that typical kind of loose-headedness that he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't understand his positioning on the field. The first goal, the EMPOLI goal, was definitely his fault, trying to press really high, which is fine, but then he went in for the tackle, which left the acres of space for Di Lorenzo on the right. I don't want to see Dalbert ever again at Inter. Up front, Mauro Icardi, I give him a 5. Did anyone see him? Apart from the penalty miss. And Icardi's substitute, Lautaro Martinez, wasn't much better either. Of course, he didn't have much to play with, but he's so inexperienced and naive with some of his decision making. Near the end, he could have taken the ball to the corner, but he tried to shoot, and it was straight to Drogovski, who started a counter-attack straight away. Those are things that he can't be doing. And of course, we have to talk about Keita Balde, who was finally given more than 15-20 minutes at the end. Came on for Asamoah and scored a beautiful goal. Cut in from the left. That is his best position, so that's where he should be playing. But then again, in the 45 minutes, he showed exactly what type of player he is. Not very smart. Took a yellow card for taking his shirt off. Scoring the goal, which you can forgive. In the emotional moment. But then the absolute stupidity of the moment of dragging Drogovski back on the counter when Brozovic scored from the halfway line. Which meant that the goal was called back and he was sent off, and it was really, really squeaky bum time at the end for us. And then one more thing, I would like to say thank you to Luciano Spalletti. 2 years in a row, he's brought the Champions League back. For me, definitely the best manager we've had since Jose Mourinho in the last 10 years. Yes, this season has definitely put a sour taste in our mouth with Spalletti, with some of his man management and his stubbornness and his tactics. But you can't really criticize the results that he's delivered in the team. So thank you, Luciano Spalletti, and also thank you to João Miranda. One of the longest serving players at the club left, and he looks like he'll be leaving this summer. Definitely one of the best centre backs we've had in the last 10 years as well. Wonderful servant to the club, very professional, very experienced. And I hope he does well in the Copa America with Brazil in the summer. That's it for the player rating for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed doing it. It's been a long season. I'm so tired, but this is not the last video for SempreInter TV this season. We're going to be doing a season review tomorrow with Renato and Cami, so look forward to that. That's going to be a longer video discussing the whole season. And then throughout the summer, we'll be doing Inter Legend, which is a feature done by Critty Smith. We'll be talking about some Inter legends and really good, really high quality stuff. So I expect some good stuff in the summer, guys. As always, like and subscribe and comment. Who do you think was the best player, the worst player? What do you think of Spalletti leaving? Let me know. Please like and subscribe. As always, Forza Inter. Ciao.